Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
The show that never reads the terms and conditions. It's the Audience of One show on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5 FM, streaming on irlonestar.com and available wherever you get your podcast from. I am Andrew, next to the guy who goes to the restroom during prayer time. It's Dick. That's not a beanie cap. Shishler. Almost said something else there right off the top. Let's start this one off with a bang. Shishler.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I did a little traveling over the weekend for a guy's trip, bowling trip, and I drove into Missouri. And I traveled through North Texas, through Oklahoma, and I got to see several of the areas that were affected by the tornadoes. In fact, I saw the convenience store where unfortunately 4 people were killed just south of Gainesville, and then another spot in southern Oklahoma where tornadoes went through and just leveled some places, leveled some homes. Very, very scary to look at, man. In fact, there was one warehouse along, was it the highway there? It was the Dollar Tree warehouse that got destroyed. They still had product in there. You could see into it, all of the dollar goods.
Yeah, every time I see a disaster like that, or even like just the cleanup, like the fact that you got to clean all this stuff up, it's insane to me. Because you know how much time that's going to take, and there's probably companies that do that. Like you don't want to clean up your house after a tree fell on it.
Yeah,
hire these guys.
Well, in some cases, it's just going to take basically a front end loader and just destroy it because these places were not repairable.
Yeah,
sadly.
But you still need to pick up that product.
Sure, yeah.
So it's not like you just shovel it all into a dump truck.
Light a match.
So, but yeah. That's cool.
So you survived your birthday weekend, man.
Barely, dude.
I'm so glad we were able to do the show today after the wild weekend I'm sure that you had.
I disappear sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You do look a little bit more mature than just last week. And that shirt, by the way, that's snazzy.
Yeah.
It
looks great on video.
Yeah.
I forgot about it. I was like, I just need to put something on today. And so
thank goodness.
Yeah.
But apparently that shirt in the video zebras a little bit as you move. So you're going to shimmy shake for us?
No, if I stay still.
Oh, it's if you stay still. So you got to move the whole time.
I got to move the whole time.
Oh, great.
But yeah, it was good.
Awesome, man.
A funny story. We're swimming. We had a pool party for my birthday, and my family came over, and we're having fun. And then my brother's like, hey, something's dead in the backyard. And so the backyard goes up to a lake. So sometimes kids fish and they don't throw the fish back. They just dump the fish or
makes
throw
sense.
it, whatever. So I was like, oh, it's probably that. And then he's like, no, it smells really bad. And my dog, when I get in the water, she hovers around me because she's like, this guy's gonna drown. And I go, hey, Freddie, go find whatever smells. Go find it.
Freddie is your dog.
Go find go find the dead animal. Go find the dead animal. Just joking around.
Just kidding. Not expecting old Freddie to actually go and investigate.
About an hour later, we found a nutria in the pool.
Oh, my God.
And it was been dead for a while. It's bloated. And I'm sitting there going
those are nasty.
Oh, yeah. And I go, did Freddie legit find that? And then brought it to me in the pool?
She's being a good girl. She's doing exactly what you asked her to do.
The funny,
you can't be mad at her.
Well, because my brother was like, that's pretty incredible. She did that. I was like, no, she brings me, if she finds a rabbit or something, she'll bring it to the back door and leave it as a present. And apparently that's what dogs do, is hey, I got this. I killed it. This is for you. I protect the house.
Yeah, exactly. A present for you.
A little dead rabbet one time. That was fun. I was like, why is there a dead rabbit?
Did everybody immediately exit the pool?
The kids were freaking out. And I get back. I was like, I get the net and get in there and get it out.
At that point, because there's been a nutria, a dead one at that in the pool, you don't feel so bad about peeing in it, right? At that point, you're like, he's going to change the chemicals anyways. Let it go.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a little Snickers. You can release one of those in there, too. What does it matter?
Well, I think when you are the caretaker of the pool, you don't really care because you know how much chemicals you treat it with. So it's
and they know when you're coming over to treat it with a little additional chemicals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things what's weird is peeing in the pool doesn't bother me.
Wait. it doesn't bother you if somebody else does it while you're in it, or it doesn't bother you when you do it.
Because there's so much chlorine in it, it's like it doesn't really.
Yeah, okay. I think there's a breaking even point though on that.
Well, I know what I'm saying. The reason I'm saying that is because if you look at the scale of it, like if you're at a public pool, like you have to assume everyone's
it's
paying
half urine, correct?
Yes, but people still getting it.
Well, I've heard these stories where they have taken water samples from a busy pool from like a Las Vegas casino, and sent it in to be examined, and they didn't tell the folks where it was from, and they thought it was sewer water.
Yeah.
It was so contaminated. Like, oh, this is really contaminated. Where's it from? Is this from the sewer? No, this is from the Venetian or wherever. Sorry, Venetian. We love you. If you want to sponsor the Audience of One show, just as an example. Nasty, though, man.
And so I got over that real fast. I'm like,
okay.
We just have
nutria in the pool.
Now nutria in the pool. And like even my dad was like, is that worse than like actual feces in the pool? Or it's a little bit of everything too. And I was like, well, the pool's gonna be fine.
I would think that's worse. I would rather a little tinkle and potty in the pool than a dead nutria.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, dude, it looks so cool.
Speaking of tinkle and potty, I've got a few observations from my trip. If you would play my observation song, please. Thank you. Favorite time.
Oh my gosh.
Just gets more and more dramatic, doesn't it? Here comes. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, fake Josh Groban, for my observations intro. So, on this trip that I went to this week, and it was, like I said earlier, it was a bowling trip that I've gone on for many, many years, and it's at the same location every year. And I was reminded of something the second I needed to use the potty. So, Dick, I took a snapshot of this restroom, and I want you restroom, not restaurant. I want you to show the onesies. I don't know if you're showing it or not yet, but this is the urinal, I guess, situation going on in this one particular bowling center that will remain unnamed. One observation, those things are massive. I have never seen urinals that size. They essentially look like a regular elevated toilet.
Without a lid.
Without a lid. In fact, if you weren't paying too close attention or maybe had a few beverages, you might accidentally think that's a place to do a number 2 in, because they're massive.
Well, not even that. Like, what confuses me about this is, are you supposed to spread your legs a little bit and get as close to the toilet, and that little thing is in between you?
I don't get it either. And for those of you who cannot see the picture, it's a very, what shape would you call that? It's almost like a light bulb shape.
Yeah.
Right.
Light bulb, yeah.
And because it's so elongated, you can't get real close. You almost kind of have to stand back from it.
You know what I'm talking about, though? Like
yes.
It looks like you're supposed to get
up on that. Straddle over the top of it. It's very strange.
This makes me think the manufacturer messed up. And they're like, hey, we made 20,000 of these toilets, and the combination of residential toilet and our urinal toilet got combined somehow. The schematics.
It does look like a
combination. Like, what do you want to do? We could still sell them. Just sell them at half cost. Someone's gonna, cheap and buy that.
It's like the Cybertruck of toilets here, really.
Because whoever built this bowling alley was like, hey, we need 2 urinals, and like, oh yeah, we ordered them, and then they come in, they're like, what do you want to do with it? It's like, well, we need 2 urinals. Just load them up.
Second observation is...
Because if you put a divider in there...
Okay, so second observation is...
You have to pee at an angle.
They are extremely close to each other with no divider whatsoever. This situation is actually worse than a trough. Because if a trough went wall to wall, you could scoot over. But because they're so close together, if someone else comes in there, you're touching shoulders. Ladies, this is what you don't have to deal with. This is really, really weird.
That's at the Astros.
We've talked about that, the trough. But I would rather the trough, not this.
No, they don't have a trough. They have urinals,
individuals?
But they're so close to one another.
Yeah. But they're kind of probably the kind you can... Well, I'm saying they're the traditional, like, on-the-wall kind. You can kind of, I don't know, bury yourself in there if you wanted to. Really strange, man. And the thing is, they hold a ton of water. That's almost like a regular toilet amount of water.
The schematics got combined on accident through the program.
Very odd. Yeah, man.
And then, or it's a practical joke, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, well, if there was someone in there at the time using it, I'm going to wait. Like, I'm going to wait for that dude to finish. I'm not going to go up there. But the problem is, you wait, you go in. If the next person doesn't feel the same way, now he's right next to you. It's like, bro, this is weird. And you can't get up on it. So it's, again, I think I just want to hold it.
Like, one thing I was thinking about the other day is if I owned a business, like a bowling alley, I would mess with people so much.
Okay.
Like, for example, in the bathroom, I would have a speaker in it. And it would make a loud creaking noise when someone opened, like, when you open the door, all of a sudden, and like scratches.
Okay, yeah.
Because this actually, at our bowling alley, the door is a little tilted. So when people...
It does make a noise.
It makes a noise, and it startles me like crazy.
You get a little on you.
Even though I'm like in the restroom, I'm using...
And you know it's coming.
Yeah, and it's all of a sudden you're... And I'm like, whoa. And I'm...
And you look down and you go, great, there went that pair of jeans.
So I think that'd be really great to mimic that in my bowling alley and just scare people while they're trying to like focus on their business, and all of a sudden you get interrupted. And it's not like someone's right behind you. It's just somebody like comes into the bathroom. I love it, man.
Well, that was my toilet observation
I like it.
for the week. I also had to pack a bag, as one does when they leave for a few days. And I was packing contacts. I wear daily disposable contacts, and I realized I needed to open...
Because your carbon footprint has no limits.
That's exactly right, baby. Put the pedal down on that carbon footprint. And anyway, so I had to open up a fresh box of disposable contacts, and I noticed that I was getting short of supply, which means I'm going to have to go back to the eye doctor, pretty soon.
Okay.
And it got me thinking about that entire situation, about getting an eye exam, because I'm not a real big fan of it to begin with. But when you're taking that eye exam, it made me wonder, how hard should I try to actually get those things right? Because if he's saying, read me this line, and I can't tell between a D or an O, so I guess, and I guess right, he doesn't know that I'm guessing. He thinks I can see it. But in reality, I'm just guessing. But it makes no sense to do that. So should I just be like, I don't know, it looks like a W. So he gives me like the really good prescription, like the Superman stuff, so I can see through walls. But I never do that. I've tried really, really hard. I think it's a D. If you don't know, make up a letter. Like, that's a wingding.
Or you can just tell me you don't know.
Yeah, exactly, something. But I think it'd be better if you tell him it's a different letter. So he goes, good God, this guy really can't see.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I actually have to go get my eyes examined. And I'm pretty sure I do need some form of glasses. I can still see fine. The only thing I can't really read is small print.
The run sheet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just ignorance on that. But I was talking to...
Sorry, that was too easy.
There was this girl I know, and she's an optometrist. Is it optometrist?
I believe it is, yes.
And she's a doctor or whatever. And I messaged her, and I was like, hey, I need to get an eye exam. Do you know a place? Like, can I come see you? But she's probably about 2 hours away. And I was thinking, and she goes, oh, you can just go anywhere. I was like, yeah, but it's my eyes. Like, I don't want to just go anywhere.
These are my papers.
Well, I was thinking about the test. And I was like, do they really do that still? Because I feel like there would be some technology advancement where
they just scan it.
They just scan your eye, and it's like, hey, we can go. Because they can see where their stigma is and all that kind of stuff. So why couldn't they just kind of see, oh, this is where you're...
Is it better now, or is it better now? I'm like, that's the same.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You can't fool me, lady.
The fact that they still do that. Because I'm a little nervous about it.
It's old school, man.
Because you have to be as honest as possible, because these are your eyes. Like, you need these things, but your eyes can also play tricks on you.
Yes.
And so that makes me think that their profession isn't a real profession. Because it's like, we're basing all these results off of guessing. So we're just going to wing it. And it's like, well, I'm paying you money. How do I get this absolute?
Well, I think, again, when you go take your test in the next few weeks or whenever it is scheduled, don't try too hard, man. Just kind of
I'm going to be
honest. Give it 70%.
And that's what I'm saying. If someone goes, can you read? Like, nope.
There you go.
Nope.
Don't try and guess, because you may accidentally guess correct. All right, man, let's kick off this show, because you know what? We have another banger. Go figure. We had a banger last week. We had an amazing show the week before, persevering through the heat. We're doing it, man. We are doing it. Speaking of heat, I
do want to remind you, around this time, for some reason, not a lot of airflow.
I'm noticing it's a little warm now, like weird. It was a couple of weeks ago.
It's in spurts now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it's a bit warm. Well, speaking of warm, it is getting hot out there. Gen Z women are looking for a sexy rat boyfriend in the latest dating craze called hot rodent summer.
Oh,
are you familiar with this new
my Nutria?
Trend? Yes.
Where's my?
We're combining all the stories here. Go get your Nutria. So this is pretty interesting. Gen Z, I guess, is the young group of maybe 14 to 25 or something along those lines.
Can we back up a little bit?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Hot rodent summer. So basically, what they're calling a rodent is a man that's more lanky than he is bulky. Maybe a little pale with some sunken eyes. Think Johnny Depp from the 1990s is really what they're saying. And apparently, this is a new look that all the Gen Z girls are into, and it's titled hot rat summer.
I thought you were going to go with like
They're
someone
sexy.
dresses up as a rat. I was
Well,
like,
that's more fun. That's more your
Yeah.
speed. That is crazy. Yes, it says essentially it's a lanky man over someone bulky. It's someone with sunken eyes, pale skin that scurries around instead of walking with a purpose.
well,
Sounds attractive to me.
See, when
Man, I
you,
should
when
have
you
grown up in
find
this
stuff-
generation. I would have killed it with the ladies.
Well, when you find this stuff, I always wonder, is this just made up by AI?
I don't care. I love it, though.
On the article you sent me, when I think of rodent, I think of a guy that doesn't bathe, doesn't comb his hair,
Kind of sounding that
just
way.
grows everything out.
It's got to be more of a pale skin
And,
kind of.
Well, I know, but like doesn't go outside. Like it's
Yeah.
a rodent.
Yeah.
Like they're hiding. And
Apparently, that's attractive now. It says essentially it's the opposite
But
of a finance bro.
The examples they give, Johnny Depp in the 90s.
Right.
And then they have Timothy Chalamet or
Chalamet.
whatever from Dune. I'm like, he's still good looking. Like this isn't a
Right.
And then they throw in Travis Barker from Blink-182, I guess.
Yeah, but these are older guys. I'm trying to find guys that are younger.
And
Gen
then
Z are
Jeremy
little
Allen
kids.
White from The Bear.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but-
he's a good actor, but it's like those aren't really rodents. Like they look like normal people. When I think of a rodent, hot rodent, I think of like those guys.
I will declare I've never actually thought of a hot rodent. So
Well, there's some dudes who look a little squirmy.
besides Harold, the one in your car that you murdered,
Yeah.
you murdered a few months back.
But yeah, I don't really understand hot rodent. It's just a guy
I think this is Gen Z. Their humor is a little off, by the way, and I
Yeah.
think this is them being tongue in cheek,
I feel like
funny.
this is made up. Gen Z never really said this.
Well, no, I think it's actually a thing, but I don't think it's a thing. It says online, the generation is declaring that lean men in leather jackets are just as hot as gym bros in football shorts and pretending that it's a cultural revolution. So, anyways, it's
I
getting
think
warm out there, ladies.
I mean, it might be a little deeper than that because I think society doesn't care about those. I guess you call them like the pyramid anymore, like the pyramid of popularity.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the food pyramid.
No. So I don't think there's really a scale anymore. There's not a totem pole of hot anymore.
No, and I think social media has
Yeah.
really done a number with that. What is considered like traditionally hot anymore is passé, right? They do things just to be intentionally ironic, even if it means dating somebody that they're not attracted to. No, bro, this is good. This is good. I
Yeah.
like it. No, you don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Look at him. He looks like a rat.
Well,
That's hot.
it's like right now I'm currently
Doesn't
dating,
have a job.
I'm
That's
currently dating somebody, right?
I know.
And what is hilarious to me is at one point in our conversations we have, she's like, "Yeah, I'm usually not attracted to people like you." And I looked at her and I was like,
Wait a minute.
"Is this
is this a compliment? You're
I'm-
terrible at this, by
I'm
the way.
supposed to be the funny one, right? What are you doing right now?" And no, she's like, "No, typically," I go, "Let me guess. It's either a biker or some guy with barbed wire tattoos or some guy has his upper body is twice as big as his
Yeah.
lower body."
I usually go for really good-looking, handsome guys with, muscles. You're fine, though, honey. You're fine.
Yeah, no, and she goes, "That came out wrong." I'm like, "Well, yeah," and I like it. I was like, "Whatever."
Okay, you're unique.
I'm a
I guess
diamond
that's
in
what
the
it is.
rough.
That's one way of looking at it, I suppose.
Well, yeah, I've always put myself on top.
so to speak.
You know how they say that like men put women on a pedestal? I put myself on a pedestal.
No way.
Yeah. It's true. But yeah, it's maybe that's what I'll tell her. I'm a rat. I'm a hot rat.
There you go. Although I don't think she is Gen Z.
Well,
Hey,
I know,
hey,
but I can't call myself a hot rat.
you can call yourself whatever you want, bro. Come on.
Yeah. That's one thing. Okay, so speaking of rats, I still don't understand the concept of Ratatouille.
That's because it was a cartoon, sir.
Well, I meant more of like, no matter what you tell me, a rat in the kitchen is not going to be good.
No, generally speaking,
Like,
it is
never.
not.
Like,
That's
you
why he
can't-
hides him under the hat, though.
But there's no way you can make it like, oh, it's okay, he knows how to cook. I'm like, yeah, but he's still disgusting. So it's like, no matter if he makes the best.
That's the part you're concerned about. Not the fact that it's a rat that's speaking to you and can cook food. No, that's perfectly fine. He's a rat, though.
He's a rat, though. Like,
What should they have made him? Instead of a rat, maybe a squirrel? Is that any better?
what's like the cleanest animal?
I don't know. A pig? They say pigs are supposedly clean. I don't know.
I
if
think that's a lie.
Yeah.
I
What do you think?
Why do you think Jewish people hate pigs? Because they're
I
the
don't know. Tell
dirtiest
me.
animal.
That's right. They're filthy
unclean.
swine. That's right.
I ran into that this weekend. I had a Jewish friend. I totally forgot, and I got a pastor.
Not kosher.
And he was
Not
like,
kosher.
"Hey man, you know I'm Jewish." I'm like, "Yeah, I know you're Jewish. What's the big deal? I can't eat pork." I'm like, "Well, technically you can eat pork,
But bacon's okay.
but
No, it's not. I'm just
I
kidding.
get it. I felt really bad. I was like, "Sorry, dude." But yeah, I get it. I get it.
All right, man, I know we have talked about jury duty before, but put yourself in this scenario. A high-profile federal fraud trial in Minneapolis was rocked this past week by allegations that someone tried to bribe a juror with more than $120,000. That's right, trying to lube.
How much money would it take for you?
Lube the wheels of justice. We'll get to that here in just a minute. The FBI says the cash was a bribe, was delivered by an unidentified woman to the home of a person identified as juror number 52. By the way, that's an awfully high number to be selected on the jury trial, which tells me they were having a hard time filling people, because by the time you get to the 50s, you're usually not selected. So she was probably back there going, or he just says unidentified, was thinking, 52, I ain't going to get on this trial. Au contraire. The juror was dismissed Monday after serving for 7 weeks in the trial of 7 defendants connected to a Feeding Our Future, a nonprofit organization allegedly used to skim nearly $250 million from federal child nutrition programs. So they're accused of doing some fraud here and stealing some money. So what's another $120,000? Do you think that's an act that says we're innocent of these charges? Or does that look like we're really guilty and we don't want to be charged? Okay, so this is kind of scary if you think about it. One, a couple of different ways that this can go. One, this money gets delivered to your house, which means they know.
This is proven that he took money or she took money?
No. She turned it in. So the story goes, this person comes to her house with $120K. That means they know her name or his. Yeah. Unannounced. They know your address. They know where you live.
Well, they already know all that stuff.
Not everybody does.
It's the internet.
Only people in the trial know this stuff.
Yeah, but it's the internet.
The lawyers and such do, which means there's somebody in there.
What's a lawyer?
That is exactly right.
Like
so
the most hated profession.
Scary. So she immediately turns in and goes, hey, somebody came to me with $120,000. Secondly, how do you know that you're the only juror that was offered that money?
Well,
and it wasn't everybody else?
I wouldn't be worried about it.
Well, that's the thing. If you were offered that $120 and you decided to keep it, and then you hear, hey, this juror number 52 got offered a bunch of money, you're darting around with your eyes going, oh, weird. That's so crazy. Unbelievable. Because you're pocketing the $120. Yeah. So how much money would it take for me?
No money for me.
About $100, really, man. I'll do anything. Yeah, I'll do anything for $100. Sure,
whatever has the lowest footprint.
You want an acquittal? Yeah, I don't care. No, man, I wouldn't do this. I'd be scared out of my mind that would get tracked, and because I'm assuming that is also against the law to take the money.
No,
and
all right, so
not happening.
Well, I mean, let's be realistic. How much money really would you be tempted? I would say at least $1 billion.
A billion? I'd be tempted with $100,000. My God,
really?
That's a lot
$1 billion would get me right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of an unrealistic number then. So you're essentially saying,
like, unrealistic. I would defy the law.
Yeah.
But so the second question I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
So because people love trial in the media. They love these trials.
Mm-hmm.
So name the trials that are famous, or any trial that you would want to be a jury on.
The Martha Stewart case.
You think so?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think the Alex Jones one would be wild.
Oh no, that would be crazy. And the reason I would not select that is I don't want to hear about all the families that had to suffer through their children getting, murdered.
Well, no, not even that. Like that particular case.
You know all the crisis actors.
Yeah. Well, like what fascinates me about that is the internet. There's so much film of this guy, right?
Alex Jones.
So you don't really know what is the truth by the law.
Okay.
And so I'm curious to see these two sides present facts, because you don't really know exactly what's going on with it.
Okay.
And same thing with like the O.J. Simpson trial would have been really interesting.
Yeah, that's like 9 months though. Oh.
Well, I know, but it's just like,
and this trial apparently went on for 7 weeks.
Well, this is like the facts. I like to hear what really happened, what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the murder trial ones are always interesting, because you read in the paper, oh, he's accused of murder. Well, everyone's like, he's guilty, or she's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get into the process of the story, and you're like, okay, so the glove doesn't fit. Quit.
That's right. It's a good saying right there. Just based off that saying, I'm acquitting him.
And I would, anything with Donald Trump would be great. I think I would love to be a jury on that, because you actually get to hear what he actually says.
Yeah, there's some crazy things.
Is there any other cases that you can come to your mind? Like, oh man, this would be This would be
No,
insane.
because I've actually, as
like
part
the
of
Monica Lewinsky one would be hilarious when they're talking about the dresses.
Yeah.
Like to me, I would be laughing. They're like, oh, this is the stain.
You're getting entirely too much entertainment out of these. The reason nothing is really coming to mind is as a class in high school, I think I was taking some sort of criminal justice class. We went and visited a trial that it was pretty bad.
I did. We went to,
it was hard to listen to. I don't know that I get very much entertainment out of.
Well, I'm talking about
I don't like it
known
when people
cases.
break the law, Dick.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not talking about some poor sap, getting murdered by like his neighbor or something like that. I mean,
No, Martha Stewart, baby, all day.
Martha Stewart would be really interesting. I think.
all day.
Al Capone would have been interesting.
Yep.
Because everyone's like, this is Al Capone. He's a gangster. It's like, oh, we're not talking about that. We're talking about his tax returns, his tax filings.
Right.
Well, what's that?
Well, here in a related case, local Colorado officials have reached an $8.5 million settlement with a woman who was hospitalized in 2022 after being handcuffed in the back of a police SUV that was then hit by a train. So get this, man. This woman gets pulled over for, I think, reckless driving. I think I just made up a new one. Reckless endangerment, reckless driving. I think she brandished a weapon. They put her in the back of a cop car, I guess, that was parked on a train track.
Okay.
And, of course, what do you think happens? A train comes. And apparently, this is terrifying. She's in the back of the car, as some of the body camera or the footage from inside the cruiser shows. She's screaming. She can see this thing coming. She's banging on the glass. And, of course, they're looking over at her like, calm down, little lady. Calm down.
Really?
I mean, I'm guessing. We couldn't see what they were saying outside. And this train runs right into her.
Really?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So one, not sure why they decided to park on the train tracks. And two, couldn't they hear the train coming down the tracks?
That's so wild.
Yeah, she suffered.
I can't believe she wasn't killed.
Exactly. She had road rage. Blah blah blah. It says she had. I'm trying to find her injuries. She had multiple broken ribs and I can't remember, broken arms. She was battered up pretty good, but did survive. So I got to ask you. She ended up making $8 million.
Yeah.
We're
doing this again?
Yeah, you're going to take $8 million, and if you knew the outcome was a couple broken bones, whatever else,
yeah,
let's do it.
And you get to say you survived a train crash while handcuffed.
Yeah.
Like, that's almost like Houdini
so
level.
$100 for bribery, $8 million for a train. This is where we're at.
Well,
No, you said $1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion.
But $8 million for a train.
Yeah, but
you make no sense.
I'm not sacrificing my integrity.
Okay, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's still insane to me. I bet that cop the next
day.
You're
so altruistic.
I know. I'm a good man. No, I think that's hilarious that this cop next day was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Because think about you ever done those things where like you put something down and then you walk away and then you hear like a crash or like it fell off the counter and you're like, oh man, that was
the jar of pickles I just said.
Oh crap.
Yep.
Like, so do you think this officer was sitting there going like, what? Like he turns
what was
around.
That noise?
Like, what's going on over there? Like,
didn't I just park my cruiser right there where that train is now at? That's a pretty good point. His name is Steinke, and what's interesting about this, on the day of the crash, Steinke joined a traffic cop in which other officers had pulled over this woman, whom authorities say was brandishing a gun at another driver. So he wasn't even the original responding officer. He just got there. It was probably his car. Parked it on the tracks and wasn't paying attention.
Well, I mean, if you look at the picture, there is clearly a crossroad, but it's old school crossroad sign.
Yeah.
Where meaning like it's just a pole with an X, and it just says crossroads.
Yeah, I don't see the crossing arm at this particular location, which I think they need to put in. By the way.
Well, there's a couple of those like where I live.
Yeah, old school.
There's old school, but it's also like I think they have a light on it at least.
That helps.
So, yeah, unfortunate for that woman. That's scary. That's got to be one of the scariest things.
Well, she's now got $8 million.
Most people think if they see a train coming out, they're like, "Oh, I'm dead."
Yeah. Well, she's got $8 million and a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the dispute between North Korea and South Korea last week?
I think they're always having disputes.
Well, this one was particularly unique in that North Korea. North Korea has sent over doo-doo balloons into South Korea, or as CNN calls it, floating bags of trash containing, quote, filth.
Yeah.
Carried massive balloons.
Again, it's got to be one of those things where it's like, whose idea? Like, I want to be the fly on the wall where they're sitting in this round table or whatever kind of tables they use. Like, we got a great joke.
I got an idea.
And it's like, we got to get or unless they had a feces problem, and they're like, we got to get rid of
We
this
got to get rid.
feces.
Yeah. That's actually could potentially be
That's
it.
what I'm saying. I love to understand the reasoning behind this because this is something I would do if I was a leader and I didn't like my neighbor. I'm like, my neighbor.
This does sound like a Schisler-approved method of attack.
Yeah, they put up these floodlights, and they're coming into my bedroom window. I ain't having that.
Doo-doo balloons on 3.
And not just one.
That's right. So the South Korean military began noticing, quote, large amounts of balloons arriving from the north starting Tuesday night, detecting more than 150 as of Wednesday morning. So this is pretty interesting. Let's put yourself in the shoes of the scenario. In this scenario, you are a high-ranking military official for South Korea, and somebody taps on your shoulder. You know, you're reading a book to some fifth graders or whatever, right? Or kindergartners, maybe not fifth graders. And they say, sir, we're under attack. And you're like, yes. This is the moment I have been training for my entire life. The decisions I'm going to make over the next 24 hours could potentially affect
the world,
my entire country. How do I respond in a moment of crisis such as this? What did they do? Sir, they launched doo-doo balloons at us.
See, I doubt that. See, I don't think that's how it went.
Really?
Unless the balloons had...
How do you react to that?
Well, if the balloons had North Korea, like, logos on it, I bet at first people were like...
Kim Jong-un's face on it.
Well, no, this is very similar. Actually, I wanted to ask your opinion on this.
Yes, please. I'll give you my opinion on doo-doo balloons. Go ahead.
No, it has something to do with doo-doo.
Oh,
okay?
That's a change.
And so we're getting in my car in the MAV, and I noticed there's white stuff on the seat.
As usual.
And I was like,
gosh,
what's this? And it just dry.
Done spilled your stash again.
Well, I was like, what is this? And then I asked the lady I'm seeing, I was like...
Playing dumb.
I was like, do you see this? She's like, that's been there for like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was like, what is it? And it's this right here.
All right.
I don't know if you can see it. Okay, you see that?
Yes, that's very odd.
And it looked almost like someone had like a whiteout, and it spilled, and it just kind of like shook around.
Yeah, it does look like a whiteout spot, and it's kind of flaking off and making a crust.
Yeah, and I was like, what on earth is this? Because I don't really bring anything in my front. This is my passenger seat.
Uh-huh.
I was like, who is in my front seat and would have something like that in their pocket? Because it's in that corner.
And why didn't they share with me?
Well, not even that. It doesn't look like drugs or anything.
Okay.
It looks like whiteout.
Yeah, it does.
It does. And so I was like, what are the odds of me, because I've been driving with my windows rolled down, of a bird pooping and it hitting
the
seat? Because it looks like bird poop. Like it legit has, has the string to it. And I was like, what are the odds? Because there's a lot of birds pooping on my car.
That's apparently good luck, as we just talked about a couple of weeks ago.
Because I was having that conversation with the girl, and she was trying to figure out too. She's like, "Oh, I didn't." I'm just like, I was so shocked you even noticed that. I was like, "No, I don't get my passenger seat, so I don't look."
Okay, you know what? This is a perfect time. Actually, I don't know.
But again, the North Korea thing, I think it's kind of funny for the first couple of days. Someone's like, "Why are we finding trash, a poop?" everywhere. Like, we're getting phone calls, boss. Apparently, there's poop everywhere.
I don't know how you respond to that, but I think
how do they know it's North Korea?
Well, yeah, maybe it has a certain smell. Yeah, it could have said brought to you by. Like
That's
you said,
there's nothing on.
I think they noticed where it was coming from. They share a border after all.
Well, look at us. We're getting somehow balloons across the Atlantic.
Exactly. I think this is a really good time, though, to play this video. I don't know that I warned you, but if you look in the run sheet, there is something called and I'm sorry, onesies, for the high amount of fecal humor in this, but I think this goes along right with it. I want you to play the audio along with the sound. Apparently, this is a new toy that is being offered with the release of the Minions 4 movie.
Okay. Hold on, let me load
it up.
It's
sorry, I
probably
didn't.
an ad.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to load it before,
worked.
but it is one of these things where if I were a kid, I'm not sure I would have been into this. But let's play this. Make sure the audio is nice and high because this is insane.
Okay, I'm doing it right now. So this is a real toy.
This is a real toy.
Despicable Me 4 Ultimate Fart Blaster.
That's right.
With real stinky fart rings.
Oh, I'm getting this.
15 sounds.
Over 15 sounds.
Banana smell.
Banana?
New Ultimate Fart Blaster.
That's
Batteries not included.
Hold on. This is what's great about it. It's the ultimate one. It's not just the regular. This is the ultimate fart blaster.
I'm going to restart it.
Oh, my gosh.
Despicable Me 4 Ultimate Fart Blaster. With
So good. We have to play it. We have to play it twice.
Over 15 sounds. And stinky or banana smell. The new ultimate fart blaster. Batteries not included.
Oh my!
Make sure that you get extra batteries because they're not included. Yes, so apparently this is something they use in the Despicable Me 4 movie. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen it. The ultimate fart blaster.
Found it.
Banana smell? What the heck? So
All
I guess
right.
it blows out little puffs of steam that stink.
I found it at Walmart.
We
I'm
need one
pulling
of
it-
these
I'm
for the
pulling it
show.
up. So it's legit, and it comes with 2 different bottles. It looks like.
I think that's the banana and the stinky. Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad. I actually kind of want to buy it now.
You know, it is a good value. $34.
Let's see if there's refills. We always got to check that.
That's true. That's how they get you. It's like the cartridges on the printers, right? You buy the printer for $70, but the cartridges are $100 just for ink.
well,
for the
what's
black.
even scarier? There's I don't
Color
know.
costs you more.
Hold on, Despicable Me. Does that have the Minions in it?
Yeah. This is the
Okay,
Minion
because
stuff.
there is a Minions different version of Fart and Fire.
This is the Mexican food version.
No, this is like another. Oh, is this like a thing in the show? I've never seen the show.
I haven't either, man. But
So where are the refills?
yeah, that's the most important thing because we know you're going to go through a bottle pretty darn quick. Dick, this
Dude.
is probably a pretty good time to take a break.
No, we got to talk about this.
we can talk about.
We have to
We can
talk
talk more
about
about it during the break.
So let's put this on the list of like, say Andrew invites me to his kid's birthday party, and even no matter what kind
Won't
of
happen. Continue.
what gender, what age, this is what I would buy, and I would just
you know what you should do?
I just want to see the face.
Buy about 10 of them and give them to all of your family members with just a card on it that says "You're welcome."
Well, no, that's what you do for Christmas when
Yeah.
you know everyone's getting together.
Yeah.
and it's like
They all get the same gift.
and it's like everyone's farting on
It
each other.
was the corporate gift this year. I just regifted it.
I mean, that is hilarious, man. I am a fan. Thank you, Andrew. For
You're
introducing
welcome,
that to
Dick. You're
me.
welcome. I don't know how long we've been on the air, but I think this is probably a pretty good time to take a break. When we come back, we're going to play Would You Rather? Right here on the Audience of One show. Stick around.
Hey there, listener. This is Dick with Audience of One with my buddy Andrew.
I'm here too.
I want to remind you guys real quick that our show is basically a free show,
It is.
but we accept donations
Well,
and sponsorships.
But it must be really, really hard to sponsor or donate to the show, though.
It's really easy. I put a link in every description of our videos where you can
that's
download right then.
Oh.
It's really easy. And it's 100% legit. We are a 501c3 radio station. So if you want a tax deduction or anything like that, sponsor the show.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and donate. That's how we keep the show free and how we're able to buy cool stuff for the studio.
Yeah, and besides that, the show's really good.
That's true. And yeah. And we are back with Audience of One on Lone Star Community Radio. Here every Wednesday at 10 a.m. part of the morning program on Lone Star Community Radio. And we're on podcast at the same time.
Good
YouTube,
morning, everyone.
Lone Star, Facebook, all that stuff. Look us up, follow us, email us at any time. audienceofoneshow@gmail.com. Sponsor and donate today at irlonestar.com/ALL. And we're back with the second segment. So, Andrew, we covered a lot in that
We
first segment.
covered a ton. Sorry, onesies. We'll try and keep this a little cleaner. Not so much flashlight
Well,
related,
no, come
but
on.
come
Fart
on.
guns are fun.
Yeah, they really were.
You
And
can't deny a good fart gun.
And let me tell you, during the break, Dick was obsessed with looking up more options.
Dude, there's more fart guns than I
there's-
imagined.
Yeah, who could have known, right? Who
Well,
could have possibly
there's
known?
different categories too.
Of course there is.
Does it have a smell?
Check.
Is it hand cranked?
I'm sorry.
So it's like a lot of them are battery operated. A lot of them are it's like
Battery operated and hand cranked sounds like a weekend with you, buddy.
and it smells funny. But yeah, there's a lot. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
you're welcome.
It also brought up that story we covered, I don't know, a year ago, where it was, I think, at Caney Creek, where the kid
Oh, right, yeah.
did the
The fart spray.
around
Yeah.
the campus, and they thought it was like a biohazard.
Yeah, kinda
So-
was.
So they had to like.
Yeah.
If people don't know the story, look it up. It's nuts because they actually
we covered it.
They evacuated like 3 or 4 times, and all he was doing was just spraying by the AC unit.
Of course he
So
was.
so it'd like stink up.
Yeah, it would spray into the ducts.
I wonder if they ended up, because I know he got in trouble where it cost so much money to bring out the hazmat team, and they did it like at least
I'm sure
twice.
he got in trouble. I'm sure, for sure. I guess this next, topic could have been under Andrew's observations, but I'm not going to make you play the fake opera song again this time. But have you ever run into the bird that happens to be making a nest at the opening of like a store? You know, you're walking into Target and you look up and they're making their nest in the Target sign right above the door.
Yeah.
And then after they make their nest and have their babies, they start swooping down, getting really defensive and attacking people as they're walking in the store. You've seen that? It is pretty great. But I've had this happen where you're like, whoa, dude, what are you doing, you know? And it kind of pisses me off because you're thinking, wait a minute. You built your nest in an area that you knew was busy. You saw people walking in and out of there.
Know what's up.
They saw people walking in and out, and they still decided to build their nest there. You can't be pissed off after your babies are born and start getting defensive and trying to protect them. That's on them. That pisses me off. In case you can't tell, this may have happened to me recently. Got dive bombed by a bird walking into a store. Well, taking a page out of that book, a Brazilian prison in southern Brazil has come up with a novel way to bolster security, replacing guard dogs with geese. Have you ever run into the angry geese? So have I. They're frightening.
Yeah.
Were you able to conquer it?
I killed it.
Did you grab by the neck?
Yeah.
No, you didn't kill it.
Yeah.
Doubtful.
Use a shovel.
Okay, are you serious?
Yeah.
You had a shovel handy?
Hey, when you step up on me,
all right, that's true. Be prepared.
You get stepped on.
Well, I'm assuming that prisoners are not going to have a shovel readily available.
Yeah, they probably will. They're digging.
Well, this is true. Maybe it's hidden under their mattress, right?
Yeah, they get shivved.
It's pretty.
Can you imagine watching like a 250-pound man trying to fight a geese or goose or whatever they're called? And he has one of his homemade shivs. He's like, yeah. I like it. This is great.
Well, they are fiercely territorial and very intimidating. And I guess the story goes that there were some of the prison guards that were attending some kind of gathering, and these geese sort of attacked them. I mean, they were in the park or something, and somebody had the idea of, we should use this as a nice low-cost alternative to guarding the prison. And it makes sense if you think about it, because a dog, even though it's trained, can be kind of, I don't know, maybe wooed with some treats or some bacon that you kind of steal from the lunchroom or whatever.
It might do more than what you intend it to do. It might kill the person.
Well,
I don't think geese are killing people.
But geese, as they say, are mean to everyone. They don't care.
Yeah.
And apparently it's been really, really effective at keeping the prisoners in line. It says the geese are happy with rice and they never get sick. Well, there you go. It's kind of like the robots at the restaurant. They don't talk back. You don't got to pay them a wage. You don't got to give them raises. You don't have to worry about them calling in sick. Apparently, the geese are like the robots of the prison world. Man, they are. I've had that. They are scary. I've had that unfortunate run-in with a geese before, especially if you're like out on the golf course or something. You get too close.
Yeah.
They come running at you.
I told you about the golf course
talons.
We went to. They had wild hogs.
Yeah, those are scary too.
Yeah.
But they have tusks.
Well, that's what I was like, because I told the guy, I was like, do you have what do you call it, a bounty?
A bounty of tusks?
No, just like a bounty on the course. Like if you see a hog and you kill it, what do you get?
A bounty.
A bounty. What is it? What's the reward?
I don't know. There's no reward for a goose, though. I can't imagine there's a lot of meat on there.
No.
Maybe the neck, right?
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, thought it was pretty
That's pretty
funny.
Cool. I like
Yes. Staying in Brazil, because the Audience of One show is your premier source for Brazilian news. Thank you to all our Brazilian listeners. This story was everywhere, so I don't think we're breaking any news. It was sent to me by a listener as well, saying you got to talk about this. But this is the remote tribe in Brazil that was recently gifted with the internet. Did you hear about
Yes, I did.
this?
Yeah.
This is nuts. So basically, they have gotten access to Elon Musk's Starlink service. And this is a remote tribe that is down in the Amazon that did not have previous access to the internet. Dick, what do you think happened?
They got hooked.
They got hooked.
Information is hooking.
Mm-hmm. What type of information do you think they were
all
hooked on?
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah, like I said, most people have probably heard already, but the tribe immediately got hooked on social media. The girls were on Insta and TikTok watching videos, and the boys were watching pornographic material. Yeah. Yes, of course. And a lot of the elders were complaining that people were becoming lazy and not wanting to work once they were on the internet all day.
I believe that 100%.
Yeah, and it is nice to think, right, or nice to see that this is a universal reaction. It does not matter whom you are in the world. If you get access to the internet, the first thing you do is go to social and look up the dirty stuff. It does not matter if you're a tribe in the most remote areas of the world.
Yeah, as long as you're being shown. Because back in the day, you had to find your way.
That's right.
But with the internet, I wonder what that is.
Yeah, now there are some benefits, right, obviously, to having the internet in a remote area. One of the things they say is for protection, for emergencies, not protection, but in the case of an emergency, they can reach people much more efficiently and faster than,
like weather,
like creating a fire and sending up smoke signals like they had to do before. Now they can get, a helicopter out there in a matter of minutes when one of the elderly tribesmen.
Someone's going to put the parental controls on it.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they've had to do is restrict the hours in which people have access to the internet, because otherwise they'd be on it all day. That basically they no longer want to hunt and gather and do the things that they normally do.
Because this is actual village.
It is remote. But this does beg the question, how do they get devices to get on the internet? Well, there's no power out there, is there? I mean, how are they accessing? Is it on their iPhone?
No, actually, or
is it like one old school computer in the corner of the hut?
It's interesting because one of my favorite YouTube channels is like a homestead show where they build in the wild homesteads. Okay. The majority of those people use Starlink.
Where are they getting power from?
Well, Starlink has a, what do you call it, like a battery, because Starlink is Tesla.
It is, yes.
And so they have a solar panel battery.
Okay, but that's for the Starlink. How about the devices themselves?
Yeah, no, it's like all one thing.
Oh, so it's just producing power, and that's what they probably
have a battery
plug
and you plug all your stuff in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it says, when it arrived, everyone was happy, and this is... I can't say his name, but his last name is Maruba, which I believe is the surname of everyone in that tribe.
Yeah.
73 years old, but he said, but now things have gotten worse. Young people have gotten lazy because of the internet. They're learning the ways of the white people.
I love it.
See what you did to them, Dick? You showed them the ways of the white people. Way to go. Way to go.
Mm-hmm.
These people were meant to live in a very rural way, but now the internet has ruined it. But again, I love that it's so universal.
Well, not even that. It's like it's generational, because the young people are probably more adaptable to it. So imagine the old guy going like, "Why are they always in their huts? What are they doing in their huts?
Mm-hmm. Their palms are always sweaty.
Yeah,
what's going on with
this? What's going on?" And then, because if you read the article, the funniest thing is like the young kids are on the social media talking to strangers.
Of course. They're doing the exact same thing everybody else does.
But see, this gets me thinking, though, is when I see people on Facebook commenting on like I Love Conroe and all that kind of stuff, I don't really think of them as strangers. But, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, people were like, those are strangers.
Yeah. Danger. Mm-hmm.
Danger, stranger. But like now it's like, oh, that's Rebecca.
I'm going to message him.
It's like, that's Rebecca.
That's how I get half my guests for this show. What are you talking about?
Well, you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Like, it's so funny that that generational thing, especially with social media, like they're no longer regarded as strangers. They're just people that we can easily talk to.
Sure. So. I do find it interesting, though. It is a social experiment, if you think about it, to see how fast a society will devolve once you get the internet. Because you and I, we kind of grew up in an environment that had access to technology, and we were slowly introduced to things over time, and we were slowly introduced to the internet, where it was on a computer in the corner of the room that we only accessed through dial-up, and it was real slow, and then we maybe got higher speeds. Now it's on our phone. They got it, boom, all at once. So their time frame was just sped right. Can you imagine if your very first experience with the internet was TikTok? Like that blow your mind.
Oh, I'd be consumed all day.
Exactly. And so we had 15, 20 years before we ramped up to that.
Because the worst thing about that kind of social media is majority of it's fake. And the way the platform presents it, it's like it's not fake.
So, good point. And this is also something I wanted to point out.
Imagine being these guys, right, in this tribe, and they're watching those stupid Tool videos where it's like, oh, look at these hacks.
Correct.
And they're so stupid.
So you bring up a really interesting point. Apparently, they were supposed to have a certain level of training before they got on the internet to let them know, hey, look, not everything you see is real. Some of this is artificial intelligence. Apparently, it didn't go down as they intended. And so a lot of these folks don't know the difference between...
let's be real.
They see a picture of...
You don't read the manual either.
Right.
So it's like, just give it to me and let me figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, they see a picture of Madonna with an alien. They're like, look at that. as real. They have no idea it was generated from some artificial. Yeah, these poor people. But apparently they're going to keep it. They say, no, there's enough good things. We're going to keep this around and spread it to other tribes that may not have gotten access yet.
Yay.
Yeah, yay.
So what else is going on?
Yay technology, yay world. Hourly retail security workers are now wearing police-like body cameras at major TJ Maxx stores, Marshalls, and Home
so they're
Goods.
already doing it.
Yeah, man. This is crazy. So they're equipping all of their employees with body cams. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going down at the TJ Maxx, man, that they got to feel that they have to equip all of their employees with body cams. And they say it's for, theft, shrinkage. They think that the body cams will reduce the amount of theft that is caused by it. But I got to thinking about this too. If you're a young employee, let's say, because most of them they're probably young. I'm gonna homogenize their workforce here for a second. Let's say you're a 17 to 19-year-old person.
Well, I went to TJ Maxx the other day.
I don't think it's
or not TJ Maxx. Like it's like a Ross or equivalent to TJ Maxx.
Oh no, it's got to be TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. What you're saying is you didn't see one on there.
I didn't see, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. So let's say you're 17 to 19-year-old kid, and you've got this body camera on, and your camera happens to catch something crazy going down, and you're like, "This is a viral moment," because let's be honest, it does tend to happen in low-end retailers. Can you then take that footage and put it out on your social media platform for the clicks and the views?
No, I bet you can't even open it up.
Okay, or is it property of TJ Maxx?
That's 100% property of TJ Maxx.
Boo, then I wouldn't want to do it because I thought, what a cool side benefit to working at TJ Maxx as a young up-and-coming influencer. If you can wear a body cam in one of those places, the content and the material that you're liable to get is probably top-notch.
Well, what I like about this is their argument is it makes people behave better because they're on camera. So the escalations of what I love is like, man, I never thought TJ Maxx had so many problems.
I know. That's why. So what is going down at the TJ Maxx?
But if you told me Walmart
it's
was
already
doing it,
cheap. What are we doing?
If you're telling me Walmart is doing it, I'm like, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Because Walmart's wild. And
well, they're probably having conversations about it too.
Yeah.
I think the difference here is Walmart is probably a much larger outfitter with more employees, and it's probably a larger investment to.
Well, because what confuses me, I don't know the standard is today, but like when we both worked at the grocery stores, like I know I was told,
yeah, you just let them go.
You just let them go no matter what. Like you don't try to stop them. You don't.
Which is why you had all your buddies steal beer for you. Exactly.
Look,
thing. I was told to let you go, dude.
Easiest thing. Mm-hmm. And man, that's what I don't understand is like you're never going to get caught.
Well, no, you are going to get caught
because no one's allowed to touch you.
Well, they may not catch you
so if you have a buddy,
at the moment, but they'll turn that footage in because there's always cameras.
Yeah, but what are they going to do?
They're going to prosecute you to the highest.
They don't.
Well, dude, don't be advertising or
promoting
theft
it blew my mind.
On my show.
It blew my mind because we were still in trouble. That's what I'd never understood in that system where I was like, why are we having a meeting about this where after the fact, you told us, like before the fact, you told us not to do anything.
Right.
And then we have a meeting, we're having a lot of theft. You guys need to keep an eye out. I'm like, well, regardless if we keep an eye out, we're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do when the guy's running out with the 12-pack? I see you. Yeah, I've kept an eye on you.
I still don't understand
I'm keeping my distance. But I witnessed the occurrence. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
So I was always confused.
I think it's because they mean if someone is willing to steal something and they see employees that are watching people, they're less likely to do it. If the employees are oblivious and they're not paying attention, they're like, look at that, they're over there playing on their phone because they just got Starlink. I'm going to go steal some stuff.
Well,
but if the employees are over there very diligently looking, people are, I can't do this. They're watching.
Well, how many people think they did what I would call like light stealing?
It's
at
like
the self-checkout?
body cams before body cams.
Well, at the self-checkout, they used to not have an employee there.
Right, now they watch you like a hawk.
Now they definitely have an employee.
Yeah.
And they definitely have all these checks and balances down.
Oh, yeah. Have you heard the new idea or concept at the self-checkouts to prevent theft is they will not just make a noise, but they will also say the product that you scanned. So it'll be like, so in your case, it'd be like, bloop, bottle of wine, bloop, roses, bloop, condoms. Yep.
Yeah.
And exactly.
Farts.
Right. And then
in
farts.
A can.
Mm-hmm. And so that way, the person over there listening knows exactly what you're scanning if they don't hear something. But God, that would be so embarrassing.
Well, what's so strange to me
cream.
is like, imagine all the interactions you have with people, and 50% of those people have body cameras on, and then that data is being compiled through something. Like everyone has access to that, and then you're like, what nefarious things are going to be born from this?
That's what I'm saying, man.
And
TJ Maxx is running a side business. They're going to sell that content later down the road. It's like the apology line that we keep bringing up every few weeks. That was a genius idea.
yeah,
Well, I don't know if you're aware, but body cams and dash cams, while they're gaining in popularity over here in the United States, apparently too much, have been really popular in Russia for decades.
yeah.
And that has led to some amazing videos online because the police are not the most truthful. It's a fairly lawless area, especially in the more rural areas. So to protect themselves, the citizens have been equipping their cars with dash cams for decades. They say that like a large percentage of people have them. And of course, you catch really cool like meteor showers. I think that was a big one that was out a few years ago. But you also
I'm honestly surprised that's not factored into the price of a car.
Yeah, that's not just standard. I think, well, it is on the Teslas, right? Don't they have them on Teslas?
But I think it's another one of those micro charges they have. Like the equipment's there, but they charge you a monthly fee to like store it, and it's not strictly like, oh, you just put an SD card in and records to it. I think it has to be activated through a monthly charge.
Oh, okay, probably. But still, it's there.
I think. I don't have a Tesla. But I remember reading about.
But I was thinking about one.
Well, no, you remember that we talked about that a long time ago, where car companies are now doing the micro charges, where like BMW is going to put
it's a
seat heaters in every vehicle, but then you have to pay a monthly service.
Had a massive backlash on that, by the way.
Well, no, that same thing. Tesla did that.
Yeah.
When everyone found out their battery,
that means they can just disable and enable parts of your car.
No, like
through subscription service.
They did it with Tesla, where the Florida was having hurricanes. And Tesla's like, hey, we're going to unlock all your batteries so you can fully charge. Well, apparently every battery in the Tesla was the same, but they would charge you extra to gain access to 100% of it. Mm-hmm. So when you buy like the S model opposed to the M model battery, you only got 80% use of it.
Yeah, thanks.
Like the battery's still there. It's still the same battery as the S.
Of course, they just unlock more potential.
Isn't that funny?
Crap, man,
I like it.
Well, from TJ Maxx to IKEA, I think they are in two different places in life, so to speak. But IKEA has unveiled a first look at the, quote, coworker game, a virtual universe coming to Roblox in June. Okay, Roblox is huge, by the way. I know my daughter plays it. But apparently inside this, you can be an employee of a virtual IKEA inside the game of Roblox. And one of the things they're offering, digital meatballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever been.
Be different.
I don't know if you've ever been to an IKEA, but that's kind of what they're known for. The sweetest meatball. Their cafeteria sells very inexpensive meatballs, and they're decent. I suppose I've had them. They're like $2.99. You get like 6 Swedish meatballs there while you're looking at your real cheap low end furniture. But in the game,
I've never been to an IKEA.
You're not missing anything, in my opinion.
Never been.
Love you, IKEA. If you'd like to sponsor, donate to the show, feel free. But No, but it's pretty interesting. So they're selling these virtual meatballs, but they're also hiring virtual employees to work at these stores in Roblox, so that you can work at a fake store for real money.
I believe that 100%.
What are we doing? And apparently they're going to pay like, I don't know, what was it, like $24 an hour to work. Now, there's only going to be 10 people. Applications for roles in the virtual store open the beginning of June and close the middle part of June, with paid shifts for 10 new coworkers up for the grabs. Yeah, I was not aware of this. So people who probably play Roblox and are fully aware that this is sort of a thing are probably rolling their eyes going, yeah, they've had a virtual store forever. But now you can actually, you log onto the game, log into your, I guess, work, and you're an attendant in a virtual fake world selling fake meatballs but getting real money.
Yeah.
I think this is a good job for you, by the way.
No, it'd be boring.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You're sitting there waiting for other fake kids to come in and buy your fake.
Creepy.
It is creepy. Yeah. Said alongside the paid coworkers, the broader Roblox community, gamers, and IKEA fans alike will be able to work, explore, and experience the virtual world of IKEA on Roblox. They can venture to IKEA's famous Swedish food market, bistro, and serve up the endless amounts of meatballs, like I said. Oh my God, this is what it's coming to. This is what it's coming to. Dick, are we after the 55-minute mark? And I believe
Almost.
it is getting warmer in here.
I told you.
Whoa, I'm starting to feel it, man. I'm starting to sweat again.
It's like spurts.
Yeah, holy cow. I demand better accommodations for my podcasting and radio, please.
I don't know what it is, man.
Please,
it's
I
hot
demand
outside.
higher. Yeah, it is. But, I mean, we were here last summer, and I think it got warm at time. But
Yeah.
this is
crazy.
it's starting to get warm in here again, man.
I like it.
Well, if we are
life
after the
interesting.
55-minute mark, I have something for you. Are you familiar with the Texas obscenity statute?
Kinda.
Well, you probably need to familiarize yourself with it, but basically the Texas obscenity statute is a statute prohibiting the sale of sex toys in Texas. It was first introduced in 1973, and it was last updated in 2003. Now, I don't understand this because I'm thinking, wait a minute. How can it prohibit the sale of sex toys in Texas when I see advertisements for, Sarah's Secret or whatever, all on the side of the road all the time? What's funny about it is it's not just the sale of them, but it's how they market them. And I'm going to start looking out for this. The law is that you cannot promote them or market them as a toy that is going to be used for pleasuring yourself.
Okay.
So I guess they have to be kind of creative in the way they do it. Oh, look at this. It's a back massager. Oh, look at this. I can really nail that spot on my hamstring. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But here's the part that I think you really, really need to be aware of, because I think this can actually come back to bite you. It says Section F of the law also criminalizes the possession of 6 or more devices.
That's awesome.
So you cannot own more than 6 of them. And I know you're thinking right now, you're counting in your head. You're going, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got one in the drawer in the kitchen. There's one in the guest bath. That's more than 6. So I think you need to go
One
home.
in Andrew's car.
Yes,
he didn't know about.
in the trunk of your old car. Oh, I forgot to take that out before I sold it to the dealership. You really need to make sure that you keep your count of pleasure devices under 6. Got it?
All right.
Well, I'm just looking out for you, man.
I like it.
I am just looking out for you. All right, this is the quick hit here at the end of the show.
Okay.
Were you aware that Dr. Pepper passes Pepsi as the second most soda in America?
I don't doubt that at all.
Right? Here in
Pepsi
Texas.
sucks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's sort of a regional thing, Dr. Pepper is, and I just assume that it's always Pepsi and Coke, Pepsi and Coke. No. Apparently, Pepsi is way behind Coke. Coke is massively dominant.
Oh, yeah.
Pepsi's not that much, and now it has actually been passed by Dr. Pepper. And I know I'm somewhat of a fan, but Coca-Cola still demands 19.2% of the market. But now Dr. Pepper it just passed Pepsi, coming in at 8.3% of all soda sales in the United States. Didn't Dr. Pepper start here in Texas?
Yeah.
There
if
you
I
go.
remember.
Pretty cool, man. You can see they've got a graph there by year. Pepsi slowly going down, and now Dr. Pepper has surpassed it. So congratulations to all you Dr. Pepper fans out there. You're now in second place, a distant second. Did you hear the...
Waco, Texas.
Waco, there you go.
By a pharmacist
Oh, that's right.
in 1880.
That's right, because there's the Dr. Pepper Museum there.
Yeah.
That's right. I should have known that. My apologies. I know some people are now putting pickles inside of Dr. Pepper. That's supposed to be pretty good. They slice up pickles and drop them in their Dr. Pepper. I don't drink that much soda to begin with.
Look at this. Look at this. I don't know. This is from Wikipedia.
Look at this or listen to this. Watch you
Just
say
shut
something.
up.
Yeah, watch you
Just
say
shut
something.
up.
I'm shutting.
All right.
Entertain
The
me.
FDA has ruled that Dr. Pepper is not a soda.
Yes.
You know that?
Yes, as part of reading this, I think it's in that article. I forgot to bring that up.
It's
Continue.
It's not a root beer. It's not a fruit-flavored soft drink. Rather, it's categorized as pepper soda, which
That's
is
correct.
really weird to me.
That is weird, except it's in the name.
Yeah. Like
Still weird.
Well, it's like somebody created another problem. Like, why is the FDA like just call it soda?
Right,
dude.
just call it
Like,
soda. Well, in this one, it is generally classified as just soda,
Yeah.
but not a cola. Heaven forbid you call it a cola.
Well, I guess I don't really know the difference, but who cares?
All right, man, that's about all we have got time for this week. Thank you, Onesies, for tuning in. Your time and attention is greatly appreciated. And if you do like the show, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and tell a friend about all of the craziness that you hear on this show. We would really greatly appreciate it.
Bye.
Until next week, guys.